So this video became pretty viral on TikTok in the last couple of days. A day in the life of a 22-year-old living in Chicago working in the tech industry. If you have not seen this before, then prepare, because your jaw is gonna hit the ground and it's gonna hit it real hard. You won't believe that this is real. You will probably think that this is satire, because people like this should not exist. But no, people like this do exist, and there's a lot of them. As someone already has put this is not work, this is adult daycare where you get paid. And by the way, paid she gets, and she gets paid really good. She's an intern who is making from 60 to 100k a year. She comes from a very wealthy family, she got the best education. Essentially, this is a day in the life of people who have absolutely no real understanding of how much money is actually worth and how hard it is to get that money for so many people. They don't have problems. Their biggest problem is being bored. But that's honestly not my problem with this video. If you can work 1 hour a day and you do not require any achievement in your life to feel satisfied and you get paid handsomely to do nothing, honestly, more power to you. Good on you for getting such a dream career. Sadly, my problem with this video is very serious. If you do not know, then my background is working for the government and working in finances. And I can tell you from a lot of experience, I am shocked that this has gotten so far and it is so advanced, because I have not worked in those sectors for a couple of years now. Essentially, what you are seeing unfold in this video is modern day slavery. And I wish I was kidding or over exaggerating. I'm gonna explain after we watch this video how everything that you see here is literally designed from two aspects. One, emotional manipulation, and two, financial benefit to the company.
Today was one of those days where you leave for work at 7 a.m. and you don't get back until past midnight. I left for work early for a 9 a.m. meeting that was conveniently canceled right beforehand. But luckily I got to the lobby and there were these eucalyptus towels waiting for me, which is really nice, and some fresh orange water, which I of course took before taking the elevator up to the office. I grabbed some breakfast, normal oatmeal and chia seed pudding, and we finally got LinkedIn mugs in the office, which I'm so excited about. Then I found out that the wall art that we have in the office is made out of recycled trees from Chicago, which was so...
I just want to point out that in our world, it's impossible to cut down a tree and not recycle it. Even if you turn it into dust, the wind is gonna blow it somewhere where it's gonna be fertilizer at some point.
Cool, fun fact. And then it was time for our company all hands, so I grabbed our drink of the day, which is a blackberry mojito, and headed downstairs to the all hands room with some of my coworkers. Some lunch because we were starving after that. There was this cool little dish, and I grabbed a chai latte before heading to work. Watched some of my coworkers play ping pong, and then tried out a new quiet room, which is a really nice area to just like relax and unplug from work. Then it was time to buckle down. Sat in our focus area for a while. I grabbed a snack after I was hungry, and then I finished up the rest of my work before getting an email announcing the next team that I'll be joining through my BLP program. Work was finally over. It was hot as hell.
I want you to notice where the sun is here. She's not ending work at 5 o'clock. She's not ending work at 6 o'clock. This is looking like 3 or at worst case 4 p.m. sun o'clock. Yeah. Let that sink in for a moment.
So we went to go get some drinks in Lincoln.
Anyway, now she goes to a house party and they drink and she goes home after it. As you can see, a very stressful day at work. Yeah, this is an absolute joke. Okay, but now let's get into the good stuff. How everything you saw in that video is intentionally designed to manipulate the workforce. And how spending probably more than 50k a month on free bamboo towels and chai lattes is one of the most ridiculously lucrative business decisions that you can make, because it will end up saving you potentially millions a month. Have you ever thought what makes psychology so scary? A beginner will tell you that it's the fact that if you apply psychology correctly, that it can force someone to do something. Well, that is technically a right and correct answer. That is a beginner answer. The true thing that makes psychology so damn scary is the fact even if you're a professional, even if you understand everything that someone is doing and trying to manipulate you, the underlying fact is good psychology influences you on a subconscious level. And that means that as humans, we literally will always be influenced by psychological attacks and manipulations. There is absolutely no way to avoid it. Even if you know what's being thrown at you, it still has an effect on you. As humans, we have a million emotions, probably even more. You'd think that makes us kinda hard to manipulate, that broad tactics don't exactly work on it. But the reality is the opposite. When it comes to us as humans in a broad spectrum, we are very, very ununique. Almost no one is unique in the broad spectrum. And that's what makes emotional manipulation so easy. When we distill these millions of human emotions that someone can feel or is feeling, usually you can easily get a top 5 or a top 10, which is more or less the exact same concepts. And then companies abuse these exact same concepts to an extreme degree. You can see it throughout this video constantly, non-stop honestly. It's the idea that the company is giving its employees free things. Free chai lattes, free snacks, free food, free drinks that are not usually on the menu, free towels, all of that stuff. Even places where they can relax 5 or 10 minutes, take their minds off work and so on. This is intentionally designed to cultivate two emotions in a person. And arguably, one of these emotions is the most fundamental governing idea principle of any human. And I'm not talking about love. I'm talking about debt. Yes, being in debt is an emotion. Being in debt is the most manipulative emotion in the world. If you are in debt to someone and that person tells you, hey, can you do me a favor or something? You will 99 times out of 100 instantaneously say, yes, you will do it. It doesn't matter what it is. As long as you are in debt to that person and the debt is not paid, you will almost say anything yes to them. And the idea that your company is giving you so much free things, so much free time, so much free snacks is creating this idea, this subconscious concept of being in debt to it because it's just treating you so nicely. And the second is the fact that it's extremely hard to be rude, it's extremely hard to be an asshole against someone who is being nice to you. And this company is trying its utmost darnest to be as nice as it can to be with the employees. Because a happy employee will not talk ill about the company. An unhappy employee will talk non-stop ill of a company. So, what happens when everyone is very happy because the company is saying, you're doing such a wonderful job. You're such a wonderful special snowflower. This and that and this and that. No one wants to talk back to someone who is being nice to them. It's very hard to do. Honestly, most of the time, only sociopaths are capable of being mean to other people who are intentionally going out of their way to be nice to you. And this is what this company is abusing. And obviously, this also presents itself in other ways. For example, this girl probably doesn't do any work at all. But she is serving also a purpose that, no one expects. You see, there are really people who do actually work in that company. And those people will complain. Even though they're getting free shit and so on, they will complain because most likely they are working extra hours. And how is the company getting them to work extra hours? Most likely without pay, by the way, is by installing this feeling of debt. But as time progresses, these people will start to get slowly mad, and debt is not going to be the only thing that can keep them in check. Then it's going to be the primal factor of herd thinking and herd idealism and whatnot. And in this case, it will represent itself as if you are one person who's unhappy about the company, it's really hard to express yourself to others if everyone else is absolutely as psyched as this girl is working there. Because her life is absolutely amazing. She doesn't do any real job, she's getting paid. Obviously, she's gonna not talk ill about the company. Obviously, If someone who is unhappy with the company talks to her, they are most likely going to be persuaded by her not to say these mean things because she does not understand that person because the company is only nice to her, and that will create a situation where you have absolutely no one even on your side, and that's very powerful. An individual is meaningless, but a ton of people is power, and that's what they try to abuse. If everyone is happy, the negative voices about the company will be squelched out by default. And furthermore, there are obviously countless other smaller factors that play into this. For example, most likely there's a lot of people who work overtime but don't get paid for it. And there's a huge chance that in companies like this, your bosses are told if you need someone to work extra hours, approach them, be nice to them, remind them about the free drink that they had when they entered the building today, and then ask them, are they gonna finish that thing today? Don't tell them to finish whatever they need to finish today. Just ask them, are they gonna finish today? Because it's very important. And if someone is really happy with their job, if someone feels in debt, they will stay those extra hours to finish. They will finish it at home or stay the extra hours at your workplace, not ask for any money in return. They're just gonna do it sheerly because they feel in debt for everything else that has happened to them. And that's the power of these things. And obviously, there's also the economical standpoint. Well, that last one kind of was also an economical standpoint, but in reality, is the company is saving so much money for not paying extra hours. The company understands that this girl most likely 7 out of, I don't know, 4 out of 5 work days doesn't exactly actually do anything. But the fact is, the people who don't quit because she is there, because she is happy and she is the voice of happiness and how amazing the workplace is. And keep in mind, she is not a paid shill. She is not your boss who is obviously going to tell you that, yeah, this is a great place to work, we're like family and all of that casual bullshittery. No. She is just a normal person who is telling you, well, maybe look from the bright side, we're getting free mocha lattes and cappuccinos and whatnot. She pays with the idea that no one needs to look for anyone else. She pays for herself and 10 times more because she makes the churn a lot less than it actually should be. She makes it so people work extra hours. She is there as an almost inside agent. So, that's a really neat thing right there. So when you're saving potentially millions, it depends on how big the company is, on overtime fees that you don't actually have to pay out to anyone, yeah, it slowly starts to become understandable how much value does spending 50 to 100K on soy lattes or whatever and fresh towels a month actually gets you. And furthermore, it's very interesting about free things in the workplace. You would think that this company is losing millions on free things that they are giving out their employees. No. The reason why they give out free things to employees forcefully almost every month in some places is because people don't actually take free stuff. I know you're probably thinking, well, if I went to work there, I would just take every snack home and so on. Yeah, sure. If you even do that, you would probably stop doing it after 2 weeks tops. You see, when it's free, then there's no scarcity. And if there's no scarcity, no one wants it. Those snacks that you could see somewhere in this video of her getting, yeah, here. You see, these things have probably been there for at least a month. Most of those snacks are going to be thrown out because no one eats them. No one wants free stuff. Even if you're desperate, you're not exactly going to just jump on everything that's free. And these people, they're living wealthy lives. They don't give a shit. So these free things don't actually cost the company anything. Again, It's the same principle as why there are all-you-can-eat buffets. Because when the average person is given the opportunity, they will actually spend less than the average person if they paid money. If it's up to you to decide how much you want and how much you will take, people usually take less than if they were paying for something. That's also a simple reality. So yeah, modern day slavery. It literally looks like this. And if you're in this sort of situation, congratulations, you're a slave.